So, Amazon PPC for clothing and fashion. Why is PPC for clothing and fashion so difficult or intricate to deal with? First thing is, there's much more generic keywords compared to highly relevant keywords. What do we mean by that? So let's say you're selling a skirt on Amazon. Let's say it's a long skirt or a floral skirt or stuff like that. The issue is most of the search volume will be for the generic word itself, skirt, right? Versus floral spring skirt won't have as much of a search volume. So what does that mean? If you're competing for the word skirt, you're going to have lots more competition because there's going to be lots of people bidding for that keyword, right? Because it has the most search volume, it's the most relevant to the product, right? So the bids will be more expensive and you're going to have much more competition. And you don't want to you can target like a floral like a keyword like floral spring skirt. You can target that, but the search volume may not be high enough for you to generate enough sales, right? So point number two, products not having enough relative keywords, right? So let's say you're selling a cardigan. How many keywords are related to cardigan? You can have just the simple word cardigan. You can have a small cardigan, a black cardigan, but most of those keywords won't have enough search volume. So you're not going to be showing your product to the right customers, which obviously at the end of the day won't give you any sales. Number three, advertising for large variations of a product. As you know, with clothing, there's a lot of sub ASINs and child ASINs, right? For example, if we go here, oh, we can just look at this one. This product has about, so let's see, 3, 6, 7, 14, 21, 28 different colors and 5 sizes, 28 and 5. So we go to calculator, 1 second, 28 times 5. This listing itself has 140 child ASINs. So how are you supposed to run PPC for these? Do you run it for all these child ASINs? Do you pick a certain amount of colors, a certain amount of sizes? You know, these are all issues people deal with on PPC for clothing, right? So way too many variations can be overwhelming. You don't know how to allocate your PPC budget across your catalog. Should you have a PPC budget at all? Do you run PPC for all of your products? That's just one listing. So imagine if you have 10 of those listings. You can have thousands and thousands of child ASINs and variations. So how do you manage all these variations on your PPC campaigns? And also, which color or variations of a product should you run PPC for? So I'll showcase to us what we do for our clients. So pretty much what you do not want to do is run campaigns for all of your products or your entire product catalog on Amazon. Why is this? We say you should even run PPC for even 50% of your clothing line. This results in a high ACoS, bad profit margins, and the inability to manage efficiently, right? Instead, you should run campaigns on your products high in demand. This can result in a high profit margin and low ACoS, the ability to manage efficiently, and brand growth. Okay, so what do we mean by this? Why should you run PPC on only maybe less than 50% of your product line? By emphasizing our best-selling clothing lines, you are inversely going to boost sales on products you do not need to run ads for. Why is this? This is due to increased traffic on your Amazon storefront as a whole. Once people go into your listings for your best-selling products, they might go into your Amazon storefront and see your entire product catalog. And when they see your entire product catalog, they'll see all your other listings of like t-shirts, shorts, you know, this sort of thing. And then they're going to be more inclined to buy those products, right? So for example, if we go into like one of these listings, you go here, you see this, and then customers will click your storefront and they'll see lots and lots of deals, lots of different variations of products, socks, this and that, right? It's much more easier to manage while you're still gonna get the same amount of traffic on your Amazon listings, right? Because your best-selling listings obviously have the highest volume already, and they're already getting most of the traffic. So you just want to maximize those listings to bring traffic to your other products. This is a perfect analogy I like using to clients and stuff like this. Imagine you're selling your clothing brand in a mall. Okay, what's the point of a mall? In a mall, each store has a storefront outside to bring customers in, right? Like for example, H&M. H&M has these product catalogs on outside showcasing some of the products, right? And what does it do? if someone walks by and sees these products, they're more likely to go inside. And once they go inside, they're going to see hundreds of different product catalogs that you have inside too, right? So that's free advertising. But these main ones are the ones that are going to push the traffic into your storefront or customers into your store, right? So use H&M. They have clothing displays outside of the store. Once customers come in, they are introduced to hundreds of different clothing items they wouldn't have been if there were no clothing displays. This is how Amazon clothing brands should operate. We want to use our best-selling lines to draw customers into our entire store, and then they can choose from their liking from our entire product catalog. That's a good analogy for whenever you want to think about it on Amazon. It's the same as an Amazon or in a mall or in an actual storefront. Another issue. You never want to put all your variations or an ASINS of a listing under one PPC campaign. Why is this? This results in a large amount of wasted advertising money. The key is optimization. You have to always optimize every week your bid, keywords, and everything, right? So what is the point of running advertising on every variation of product when we can just maximize the best-selling ones, right? And the best-selling ones will end up boosting the sales of all of your variations, right? So for example, if we have this listing, we don't want to run campaigns for every single color. It doesn't make sense. It's hard to manage. The PPC budget won't be balanced. It'll go more to one product. Other ones won't have any, and you don't know the demand for one. Like, for example, we don't know the demand for a green one. Is there a demand for it? We don't know. The black one may have more demand. So why not just figure out the top 3 to 5 colors that are selling the best and just run aggressive PPC for these campaigns? Because, for example, if just one of these does really well, all of these child ASINs will be boosted too, right? They all work for the same listing. It doesn't matter if one's doing better than the other. It's not separate. So you just want to maximize the top 3 to 5, and then it'll generate sales for all of these other colors too, right? And it's much more easier to manage. This is a perfect picture. Your top variations carrying the rest. This is what you should do on Amazon. Once you figure out what's the best for the market, just maximize that one. Okay, now the best approach to running variation campaigns. Like I said, you want to identify 3 to 5 of your best-selling color variations, right? So for like these ones, maybe usually the best colors are the more basic ones. So a black, a blue, a red, a white, a gray, a brown, right? Versus like a purple, right? So what do we want to do is we want to run auto campaigns for small sizes of these variations. Now, why do I say small sizes of these variations? When you run campaigns on small sizes, you will get more conversion, as small sizes have lower prices and a lower cost per click, right? The listing price on the display page will also show the lowest price as we are targeting the smallest size instead of targeting larger sizes and showing higher prices. What do I mean by this? So if we go back into this listing, back again. Okay, so like this one, this black gray pants. So the extra small size is at $19.95, right? If it can just work. If we do 4X, it goes up to $29. So if we run the campaigns on the small sizes, the cost per click is usually less because the size is less and the demand and the competition is less, but also the listing price is much different. So when that ad comes up, it'll showcase as $19.95 instead of the $28.99, right? And even when people click on the listing and they change the size, most people don't notice the price difference, right? So you're going to get more traffic to your listing because your price is going to be less than the competition, and people might just end up paying for the regular price anyways, right? So it's a total win-win situation. Yeah, so you want to run small size auto campaigns for those 3 to 5 variations, okay? Once the campaigns for the best-selling variations are operating smoothly and ranking good, all your other variations will rank alongside. Like I said, so if one color is doing really well, all the other colors will rank alongside with it. The one variation ranking high results in all variations ranking high. It's a domino effect. Okay. Now, what are we going to do first? We're going to start off with auto campaigns first. Why are we starting off with auto campaigns? Unless your clothing line is highly specific, let's say you're selling an Italian leather jacket, it's going to be hard to find specific keywords that have a high enough search volume for you to run exact and manual campaigns for. Since most clothing items are usually generic. So let's say you're selling a t-shirt. You're going to be bidding for the keyword t-shirt, right? Isn't and like white t-shirt, plain t-shirt, right? It's not a highly specific field, the clothing and fashion field regarding keywords, right? Like for example, if you're selling a supplement for like magnesium, you would bid for magnesium supplements or something of that sort. It's more specific, and there's actual demand for that specific audience. But clothing niche is more generic, right? T-shirts, pajamas, sweatpants. So running auto campaigns allows us to find keywords that convert well, create new manual keywords for the best converting ones, and negate negative keywords that are spending money with no conversion. Okay, so now what's the process for creating these textile-oriented auto campaigns? So we're going to create sponsored product campaigns. We're going to create 2 campaigns, one for close and loose match, one for substitute and complement. Now, close and loose match you can put together, and substitute and complement you can put together. That's what we found works well. So close and loose match, you'll find very similar and related keywords for that product. Substitute and complement will target your competitors' listings, while also complementary products, such as if you're selling like shoes, you might be targeting sock listings and all sorts of things, right? So what we want to do is we want to add 3 to 4 of the child ASINs of the top selling variations in both campaigns. So for example, when you went back here, so maybe 3 to 4 of these colors you can just add into the campaign, because like I said, we don't want to run it for all of them. We want to run it for the best selling ones, right? You want to set the bids usually about 10 cents above what Amazon is saying, just to increase your chance of visibility and to generate those keywords. For bidding strategy, we want to go dynamic bids down only, because we don't want Amazon to increase our bids if it's not converting well. We're just wasting money at the end of the day. So this will automatically lower our bids. Okay. Daily budget, we never want to run out of the budget. So usually you can start at 100 and you can keep going up if it's converting well, but it should be enough to last the entire day. Okay, now the real magic is what happens next. So after about 2 to 3 weeks of running these auto campaigns, we want to extract the best converting keywords and make manual campaigns targeting those. But be careful, make sure you are always running the auto campaigns. We never want to stop running the auto campaigns, especially if it's converting well and doing well. Do not stop it. You never want to stop a campaign if it's doing well, right? It makes no sense. Instead of just get those keywords and make it into a separate campaign. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to make an advertising report. You would go here, reports, advertising reports, loads, right? And you would just create a report and pick up whatever you want, right? Now let's see how you would extract the best converting keywords of what we think are the best converting keywords. So this is the Excel sheet. Now we like to go by 2 things, the total sales and the ACoS. Okay, so for total sales, we want to extract the keywords that have the most sales within those 2 to 3 weeks, right? Because obviously, if it has the most sales, it means it's the most specific to your product catalog and what you're selling, right? But be careful. You can have a product, so let's say this one that did about 2,600 pounds. We can have this one, it can have the most sales in that time frame, but let's say the ACoS was like 90 or 100%. We wouldn't want to extract that keyword, because that means it's too broad, right? It's too broad of a keyword. Although it's getting a lot of traffic, it's not specific enough, and the advertising spend and the sales are not balancing out, right? So there's no point really just targeting those keywords. So we want to find the ones with lots of sales, and usually an ACoS below 15 to 20%. The lower the better, right? Because if it has high sales and a low ACoS, that means it's very specific to your product, right? And the more specific it is, we want to target those keywords so we can rank on it and increase our BSR rank, right? So that's the best approach. Usually 15 to 20% below is a good benchmark. And even if it has a ROAS above 2 to 3, that's as good as it can be, really. So now we get these keywords, right? Now we're going to create manual campaigns for these keywords. Okay, so now this is where it's very specific for clothing and fashion, of how to figure out which keyword goes in which campaigns. So if you know on Amazon, there's three types of campaigns you can run. You can run an exact campaign, a broad campaign, and a phrase campaign. So let's use the Italian leather jacket. So you can see on the bottom right, this Italian leather jacket. Let's say you're selling this jacket. So an exact match keyword will usually be something like Italian leather jacket because it's very specific to your product, right? A phrase match campaign would be for a semi-relevant keyword, a leather jacket. It's a leather jacket. It's not Italian, but it's a leather jacket. It's in the same sort of category. And then a broad match would be broad keywords like a jacket, right? But there's so many different jackets. There can be a long jacket. There can be a puffer jacket, so it's very broad. So once you get the keywords from the Excel sheet and the report, you want to identify which one of these the keywords it would fall under, which match type, right? Now, for making the campaigns, it's all sort of the same structure. It just varies depending on the bid. So you want to add the child ASINs, the same thing again, the colors, like 3 to 5 colors, right? So you want to add those, and you want to add the keywords. Now, what we usually like to do is if a keyword you find on the Excel sheet has a high search volume, you want to create a separate campaign for that one, right? Because we want to optimize it and we want to rank for that keyword to get the most sales. But if you also find lots of small keywords that are doing well, that don't have as much search volume, you can place about 3 to 4 to 5 of them in the same group, and the budget will be allocated as seems fit. Or you can just do it all separately. But if you do it all separately, it can be hard to manage. So it's really up to you. So if you're running an exact campaign, we want you to set a high bids as we are targeting highly specific keywords. For example, the Italian leather jacket. If we are running exact campaigns for that keyword, we want to bid 15 to 20% above what Amazon is saying because we want to rank on this keyword because we are super specific for it, right? If you're running a phrase campaign, we want to set medium bids. So let's say the leather jacket. Leather jacket, we want to be above 5% above what Amazon is saying, right? Because it's relevant to our product, but it's not super specific, but we still want to rank on it. And then for broad campaign, we want to set low bids. So broad campaigns are usually the most expensive with the highest cost per click, right? So if we have Italian leather jacket and we want to target jacket, we want to go 15 to 20% lower than what Amazon is saying because we don't want to waste our PPC budget targeting a keyword that is not super specific and people just click on our listing and go away, right? So this is usually a good benchmark of what you should do. So we like to think of this two-phrase advertising strategy, the auto campaigns and the manual campaigns for clothing brands. We think it's an amazing strategy to always run both at the same time. And you always want to be optimizing it. So every week you want to check the bid, maybe new keywords have higher search volume, and you are always in the process of optimizing your campaign.